Welcome back to my version news. Some news stories for you. Firstly, Tigray regional government, TPLF, and Ethiopian federal government representatives have wrapped up their session of talks in Nairobi, Kenya. A statement has been issued by African Union. There is mention of disarmament, demobilization, reintegration of Tigray fight in the statement. No mention of withdrawal of foreign forces in the statement. Details for you. Secondly, Oromo protests continue, not in Oromia now, but abroad. And thirdly, some news stories from Somalia. Somalia's military claims that the federal forces, regional forces, tribal militias, they have made considerable progress in the fight against Al-Shabaab. And today, Somalia officially thanked Eritrea and Eritrean president Isaias Afwerki, and lastly, Ilhan Omar has arrived in Puntland. Firstly, talks were held between Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government in Nairobi, Kenya. What did they discuss? Negotiators. Talk started on Wednesday. It was said that the talks will be held for 3 days: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But on Thursday, today, the talks came to a close. Uhuru Kenyatta held a press briefing, and African Union issued a statement. The parties did not attend the press briefing, which was conducted by Uhuru Kenyatta. And Uhuru Kenyatta said that commitment is there, peace deal is being implemented, and the most important progress at today's meeting is that the two parties have agreed to finalize TORs, terms of reference of joint monitoring, verification, and compliance mechanism. JMVCM. The two parties have agreed that African Union's observers, monitors be given full access for monitoring the implementation of the peace deal. Two deals signed, one in Pretoria last month, other one in Nairobi, Kenya. It means that African Union's observers, monitors are going to arrive in Tigray in coming days. Before the end of December, reportedly, that is what Kenyatta said. For the end of December, these African Union observers will arrive in Tigray, and they'll monitor the implementation of the clauses of peace agreement. All clauses like disarmament, demobilization, reintegration of Tigray fighters, withdrawal of non-ENDF and foreign forces, Eritrean military and Amhara forces, restoration of basic services in Tigray, restoration of banking, restoration of mobile service, unfettered humanitarian access to Tigray. All these issues will be monitored. And then African Union's observers, team of observers will compile its report. Because so far we're seeing that the two parties, especially Tigray regional government is accusing Eritrean military of continuing atrocities against civilians. Eritrean officials, their ambassador, they're accusing Tigray regional government of delaying disarmament. Ethiopian federal government also leveled some allegations a few days ago regarding organized robberies happening in Makale. And then Tigray authorities also retaliated in the same tone. So now African Union's observers will arrive in Tigray and they'll see for themselves what is happening on the ground. Uhuru Kenyatta was very optimistic in his talk at the press briefing. He said that Ethiopians will have good news on Christmas, on New Year, and good news will be shared from Mekelle. Now, the statement issued by African Union makes a mention of demobilization, disarmament of Tigray forces. There is no mention of withdrawal of foreign forces in this statement. Though Uhuru Kenyatta said that the two commanders in their previous meeting in Nairobi, Kenya, almost a month ago, agreed on the withdrawal of all foreign forces from Tigray. There is no mention of this point in today's statement by African. It seems that the talks went well. That is why talks have concluded earlier than the time frame, which was till Friday. So in coming days, I think next week, African Union's mediators, monitors, observers, they'll arrive in Tigray. And this team, members of the team, they have been agreed by the parties. Parties have agreed on their names. And now TOs have also been agreed with the parties. It means that now African Union and perhaps IGAD as well, they will decide what is happening in Tigray. Is peace deal being implemented or not? Party statements won't matter now. What will matter in coming days is going to be the report of these observers who will visit Tigray in coming days. So let's wait for this visit. So far, so good it seems that things happening in a way which is encouraging. Secondly, viewers, Oromo protests continue. The protest started after Wellega incident a few days ago, around 2 weeks ago, when hundreds of innocent people were killed in Wellega. Large number of Oromos killed too, some Maharas as well. We saw start of a protest after that at Oromo universities, some other universities as well. In Addis Ababa as well, we saw protests. And they started protests abroad too. I think around 24 hours ago, Oromo protested in UK. And a few hours ago, they were on the streets of Sweden. So Oromo protests continue abroad. Though the protest in Sweden was a very small one, just a few Oromos were there. Last about Somalia. Somalia's government today thanked Eritrea. Somalia soldiers are returning from Eritrea. They received military training in Eritrea for around 3 years, for more than 2 years, and they are now returning. 5 flights have landed at Mogadishu airport carrying these soldiers from Eritrea. And Somalia's government today officially expressed gratitude to Isaias Afwerki and Eritrean people for hosting thousands of Somalia soldiers who are now returning. Secondly, Somalia's army claims it is making progress in the fight against Al-Shabaab and that all districts of Middle Shabelle have been cleared. Today, Somalia's military shared pictures from Nirgoud, which is in Middle Shabelle. With Nirgoud coming under SNA control, federal government says that entire Middle Shabelle is under government control. Al-Shabaab has been pushed out of this key zone of Somalia. Hassan Sheikh's government is so far committed to the fight against Al-Shabaab. A sustained operation is being seen, involving federal forces, regional forces, local militias, AMISOM, African Union troops, US air support to regional forces, to Ethiopian forces also deployed to border areas. So it's a regional, national effort which is producing some results. That is why Al-Shabaab seems to be on the back foot, though still it has the capability to hit Mogadishu, Somalia's capital. He carried out an attack on a hotel very close to Villa Somalia a few days ago. Lastly, viewers, Ilhan Omar, US congresswoman, arrived in Somalia today. He arrived in Puntland, welcomed by Dini, Puntland president. Ilhan Omar is a Somali American. She won a third term at US Congress a few days ago. Very popular in Somalia, and she has been very critical of Ethiopian government too. Just 3 days ago, she backed a letter. She signed a letter urging US Import and Export Bank that the bank should not give any loans to Ethiopian government until full implementation of the peace deal signed between TPLF and Ethiopian federal government a few weeks ago. She's being warmly welcomed in Somalia. Dini himself welcomed her in Garowe, Puntland. Thank you for watching.